In this demonstration, we are going to continue our series of ADO and code, and we're going to work on editing records. We already have our application up and running, and it displays customers, and it also allows a deletion. I'm going to create a new form. So just a new Windows form, and it's going to be form customer record. It'll only display one customer at a time. And this is going to display the pertinent information about the customer. So I add my toolbox, and I need to add some text boxes here. I need first name, last name, telephone, and email. I'll add a few labels that'll actually explain what we're doing here. So first name, last name, email, telephone, and I'll also make sure that I update the name of each text box. So txt first name, txt last name, txt email, and txt telephone. I'll put two buttons on here, one to save and one to cancel. btn save, cancel. Cancel will be a simple one. We'll just double click, and on there, me.close. And our sender is cancel button click. Alright, and we're going to fill these boxes from our other form. So when they click on save, this is when we are going to actually write to the database. So the first things we need to do is actually validate that they have entered in their information. So if txt first name dot text equals nothing, then we'll throw a message box at them. Please enter a first name. Throw an error. An OK button. And an error. And then txt first name dot focus will set focus to it as well. Alright, we're going to copy that. We'll paste it and do an else if. It'll be txt last name. And all we're going to do is just change what text box we're referring to. Same thing for email and telephone. Whoops, it helps if we spell right. And otherwise, so if everything works out, we're actually going to save the data. To do this, we are going to expect that they have a tag property, which is a hidden text property associated with a text box. So here, we're going to declare a new instance of our class, so dim customer data as new CLS data. We've done that in the past. Customer data.connection string, and we have that within our global module. SQL equals, let's expand our screen a bit here. select ID, first name, last name, email, telephone from TBL. I believe we called it contacts, but I'll verify. And it is TBL contacts. Where ID equals, and that's whatever is in, we're going to put it in txt firstname.tag property. So we're expecting that that's already going to be filled in. Once that's done, that we know that it has filled the data set. So here we're going to use a with customer data.ds.tables. We know that there's only one, sub0.rows, sub0 because we're referring to the first row because there's only one. And now we're going to actually fill in our records. So .item first name equals txt first name dot text. .item last name equals txt last name dot text. Same thing for email and telephone. We do need to make a couple of changes to the form design, though. We need to make sure that they are not entering in data that will not work with our database. Otherwise, we are going to get an error. So we need to make sure that they are not putting in a 50-character first name when we actually only allow a 30-character first name. So we've got that. So we've got our items filled. We're going to update. So customer data.da.update. Customer data, our data set. So we're going to use our data adapter to fill our data set back, or send it back to the database. And then we're just going to close the form. So as soon as they click save, it's going to close the form. So here I'm going to put some documentation. Save customer information to database based on tag property of txt first name. The tag property refers to the customer ID. It's be a save button click that gets us there. So validate information is correct. It all validates. Create new instance of class. Pass connection string. Pass SQL command. Fill each field based on text box. Update database. Close form. Okay, so we have that working. Now we need something to actually pass the information to this form, and I'm going to also take care of our rule sets. So I'm going to take care of that real quick here. So max length on first name in our database is 30. Same for last name. Email was 50, and telephone was 10. So therefore, we don't have to worry about as much authentication within our code. I'm going to go to our customer data form. And here, what we'll do is if they, we'll create an edit button. There we go. btn edit. We'll first validate that they actually selected a record. So if list customer dot selected index is greater than a -1, then now we're going to declare an instance of the customer record. So dim customer record as new form customer record. We are going to fill the fields. So with customer record dot txt first name dot tag, and that's going to be, let's see, we had what we call our array here, contact. So contact sub list customer dot selected index dot long customer ID. And we're going to use this as our template because our next one is .txt first name .text, and that's going to be str first name. Last name is .txt last name. Same thing for email and telephone. Once that's done, we will actually show dialog. So customer record.show dialog. And then when they're completed with that, we will update what it looks like by calling load customer information. So that'll refresh our list box. Let's see if it works. We'll run it. I'm going to click on Jane Thompson, edit. There she is, Jane at emailaddress.com. We'll change that to .net. Change the last name to Smith. Save. It's changed. I can see that her email address has changed, and I also can just click edit and see the effects there. So now we are able to edit a record. We'll just add our documentation. So if customer is selected, display customer information in form customer record. Once complete with edit, refresh this form. And we need to spell correct. There we go. Alright, and that concludes editing a record with ADO Encode.